All right, it is 5 o'clock. This is a rescheduled public hearing for the Fifth Avenue West project. We'll do roll call. Councilor Kaler was out of town yesterday. We're expecting him back for the council meeting, but I guess we were kind of counting on him to be for this meeting too. So maybe he is not going to be able to make it today. This again is the Fifth Avenue West project, a public hearing regarding the bituminous for that area. I'm just going to hand it right off to Jason Fisher, the city engineer.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Yes, this was a project that was petitioned for in the spring of 2023. We constructed it last fall, got everything finalized this year, so now we're at the point where we're ready to assess this project. It consisted of road stabilization and grading, and then paving that the stretch 0.9 miles. So, in our feasibility report, we had an engineer's estimate, and we estimated that the assessment would have been $126.39 per foot. The project actually came in considerably less than that, so we're going to be assessing, if approved, $65.25 for these property owners.
Okay. And with that being said, is the project closed out at this time?
The project has been finalized, yes. There'll be no more cost to it.
Okay. And Ted was just here. Is he coming back?
He just stepped out.
Okay. All right. Ted, do you have anything to add on the, for the public hearing?
No.
Okay. So at this time, I will open it up for city council questions. Any city council questions on the project?
Well, I like that the cost was cut in half. That's
I think that
good.
was a conversation we were just having.
We were just having that, yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, thank you, gentlemen. And then I'll open it up for public input and comments. If anyone would like to come forward for public input, please come forward and state your name and address, and we'll take input.
Can I give this to you?
Absolutely.
We got a list of stuff that,
Perfect.
I'm Brian Urban. I live at 1912 Fifth Avenue West. Can we get the breakdown of the cost, how you came up with the $52,200?
Please.
Whoever's got that information.
Just get pulling it out right now.
The total project cost was $52,200 was the assessed amount. We're only assessing 90% based off of the assessment policy.
So there was an additional funds that the city's taking?
Yes, that's part of this, the city pays that portion. And then that $52,200 was broken down amongst 800 linear feet, so 400 feet of.
And I think the question that's being asked is, what was the 52,000? Like, what work was done on that project?
Okay, I'll have to figure that out.
Okay.
Well, the question I have is because there was a 10th Avenue job put on this same bid, and that apparently was not deducted. We have it right here in black and white. Approximately 1,180 square feet pavement along 10th Avenue. And he did tell me that he put it on there. So that was not deducted apparently.
Brian, what was the what did you say was 10th?
10th Avenue.
Okay, I would have to go back and look at that to see.
And then
What
how about this manhole rim adjustment? Because there was a manhole cover at the intersection of 19th and 5th when it was dirt, and now it's gone. So that's on here also. Did that not get done?
It may not have.
So do we get a refund for that then too, or what?
No, the contractor would do that on their end.
So you're gonna ask them to do that then?
Yep.
So a lot of times when we do bituminous projects, we will add additional bituminous. And if that bituminous tonnage got added to that, then we would have to do that.
Okay.
So we've had some storm sewer that we had to replace, and it was on, we call it 10 and a half
Mhm.
avenue, it's not actually 10th avenue. So as soon as he said 10th avenue, that, I'm sure we added the tonnage, but now whether that was subtracted, Jason,
I'd have to go back and
we'd
look
look back to see, but it'd be a deduct every time.
So it could reduce that price, yes, we could reduce that at $65.25 if that tonnage was in that price.
So as a general rule, this would be something that we bring up at the council meeting this evening to finalize, and we could hold off on that? For the,
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
perfect. Because I think if we're having questions at this point, we definitely need to make sure that they're sorted out before we assess these taxes.
So you know the right number.
Yeah, so we, 100%. So, keep going with your list, because we do have, he has 11 things, and I think that they all should be addressed.
So what is the weight classification of Fifth Avenue West for tons per axle? Is it a 10-ton road? So we've got a problem then from the 17th Street detour with the water trucks that drove down there for 2 months this summer. And they're what, about 60,000 pounds apiece on a 3-axle truck? And we've got, we're in the water sitting in the street already, looks like the truck route. Not to mention them running their Jake brakes. Not all of them.
Right.
But they did,
Right?
which should have, you know. So
So then that
We
one
need to
kind of
look at-
fixed 4 and 5.
we need to look at what happened there and what you guys are gonna do about that, because that wasn't, the detour wasn't on us, that was
Right.
on the city.
So, on the county,
Yep.
the county detoured it, not us. We're not allowed to detour a county state aid road.
Okay,
So, but this is, I have to say thank you, because usually these go so fast, and I love that someone's taken the time to bring this to our attention. We need this, so thank you. And then that gets us to number 7.
we would also like to ask, I guess we were assuming that driveways were gonna be hooked up. You know, there's 4 houses on this block, 3 with finished driveways, and they were not. I mean, we got like less than 8 feet between the street and our driveways, and, I mean, I spent over $3,000 just hooking it up myself this summer because it looked stupid with a patch of rock, concrete in my driveway, and then a tarred street. I mean, I just assumed that that was gonna happen. I'm just wondering why that wasn't part of the deal. I mean, I thought it was gonna be. I think Terry and Gary probably assumed the same thing.
Okay?
I'm just,
Sixth Avenue next to us.
Yeah.
That's what was done there.
they all got hooked up.
What happened there?
Don't look at me, I don't do all of the stuff. But is that something that we can look at and,
Happened there?
It's different design.
Yeah, typically we just bump out, we don't go all the way. What probably should have happened is we should have approached the homeowners and asked if they wanted the contractor to do that, but that would have been at their additional expense on the side deal with the contractor, not on the contractor.
Okay.
We're not allowed to finish that section
help me understand that.
because it's city property. we're not allowed to extend our driveway all over the road.
They're looking like that doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's the right of way, but I mean, you're still allowed to connect to
Okay, we were
the
told that we could not do that. That was, yeah, city property. And when we put our driveway in, we told us we were not. Yeah, now?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah,
All right, so then that addresses number 7. Number 8,
So yeah, so you guys replaced a fire hydrant in Justin's front yard last week, and why you didn't run the street sweeper down there and clean up all that mud on the street, but now the
thieves are over
whole
top.
section of right there by 20th Street is just covered in mud and whatever. It's nothing that has to do with this, but
Yeah, I got you.
it pisses me off that we have a paved street and now it's just covered in mud. You know, I mean, so, and then there's damage on the side of the, right next to Anderson's driveway and down by the intersection of 20th Street. There's a thing that's busted off. The tires broke already in a year, so I don't really know how that happened. And I don't know if you want me to get started on the grader, because I don't know who's running the grader in this town, but that guy needs definitely some training on not to grade the tar. Because this spring, he stopped right in front of my house, which would have been right in front of Terry and Gary's. That's halfway down the block. He dropped the blade and graded it all. He scraped the tar all the way down to the dirt. I don't know. Left a big scratch down the middle of the road. I just... Stupid. Stupidity. But a brand new street that got scraped like that, that's just stupid. And then number 11, this is a police thing, but I don't know why 20th Street and 5th Avenue is the local racetrack. We got
Yeah.
people, kids, I'm assuming, racing up and down there, spinning all over the place. I mean, if Lloyd were here, he didn't show up tonight, but he said one guy went right in the ditch on my side of the street, and he sat in his living room watching them spin the tires, backing up, trying to get out of there or whatever. He's like, I was gonna go out and help him, he said, but wasn't my problem or whatever. And I said, well, good, you know. But I mean, all these things just, we were hoping that by paving that was gonna help slow traffic down, but apparently the only thing they can't do now is spin around on from 5th to 20th or from
Right.
20th on to 5th, but they come the other way,
Well, and
racing through there and whatever.
we'll talk to the police chief and make sure that he's aware that this has become a situation that you didn't have before, so that he can have some people.
Oh, it was like this before. It's been like this for years, but we were just kind of hoping by paving it, it would deter some people, but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
But
All right. Well, we have, do you have anything else to add?
I don't. You guys got anything? Okay.
So, number 1, I will remove this from the assessment from tonight's meeting, because we're not ready to do that, obviously.
Okay.
We will have the city engineer and public works director address some of these things. We'll take a look at it, we'll find out, make sure that the dollar amount is correct, and we will move this to a later time so that we can have that conversation and assess the correct amount. City administrator, you had something to add?
No, just upon, getting any updated information, we would resend out to each of the property owners, notifying them of the date in which that it would be addressed with any additional information that we have put together.
I really do appreciate this, because like I said, we've done 3 of these in the time that I've been mayor. It hasn't been until this last year that we've had people petition, have the projects done, and move forward. So I believe this is the 3rd one, and it's the first time anyone's came with concerns that they have. And this is the way the process is supposed to work. So thank you so much for coming and giving us this, because we can't fix it if we don't know it happens. And 6 months down the road, once it's assessed, and people come and say, hey, this didn't happen, and this didn't happen, we can't fix it. So thank you so much.
Okay.
I appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So if we don't have any more public input, again, I am going to pull this from the agenda this evening. We will have we will get more information to make sure that this is correct as we move forward. And this public hearing is closed.